Welcome to Good News Heroes on U-Nite Radio. I'm Jake. Last time on Good News Heroes, Elizabeth learned about Botany Bay, where prisoners were often sent never to be seen again. What will Elizabeth be able to do about it? Let's find out.
Hey kids, how was kids' church?
Good.
Is that it?
Did you learn anything new? Did the lesson make you think about anything going on in our lives?
Well, kinda.
Yeah? What did you guys talk about?
Well, today, Miss Vicky talked about how God made all of us to know Him and to live His way. But God also makes people different so they can do things for Him in different ways. And if we were all the same, we wouldn't know all sorts of other things about God.
That's a good thought, Piper.
If Elizabeth Fry was just like everyone else where she lived, no one would help the prisoners in Newgate.
That's right.
Speaking of Elizabeth Fry, can we ride to lunch with Uncle Mike and talk about her some more?
If he's okay with it, sure.
I bet we can get there first.
You're on.
We gotta beat Mom and Dad to lunch.
You got it.
But if we hurry too fast, we might end the story on a cliffhanger again.
But don't worry, we have just enough time to finish the story.
How? Alma's gonna get sent away. This can't be the end.
Elizabeth didn't want that to be the end either. She refused to believe that being sent to Botany Bay was what prisoners like Alma deserved. Elizabeth was horrified to learn that women prisoners could be transported there for any kind of crime. She didn't think that was fair. God cares about justice being served fairly, and to Elizabeth, this was not right. She demanded to meet with the prison governor. At first, she was refused, but she did not give up, and her perseverance won her a meeting with him.
Ah, you must be Mrs. Fry. Come in, come in.
Thank you for meeting with me, Mr. Newman.
You say that as if I had a choice. My secretary says you refused to leave unless you got a meeting with me about my prisoners. You are persistent, Mrs. Fry. Normally I refuse, but your interest in the prisoners surprises me. I'm sure you have a lot on your mind, but first tell me, why do you care so much about the prisoners? Surely you've seen how terrible and uncontrollable they are. You're wasting your time. I look at them, and all I see are scum criminals who need to be separated from society. They're too far gone. Why do you want to help them?
Mr. Newman, I am disgusted by your description of them. Yes, many of the women imprisoned have committed serious crimes, but they are not scum. They're human beings made in the image of God. God offers them forgiveness and a changed life through Jesus Christ. But no one has shared the gospel with them before. That's why I want to help them. How else are they supposed to act when those in charge view them in such a vile way?
So, you really think that they can change?
I do. And you have already seen that change.
Ha! Have I?
Yes! For the past few months, my friends and I have provided clean living supplies, food, water, and even started schools for the women and children.
Ah, yes, I've heard about your children's school and sewing school.
And what have you heard about the schools, Mr. Newman?
Well, I may have heard that it gives the prisoners something productive to do.
And what incidents have slowed down or stopped since the classes started?
Well, I admit I have not heard as much about incidents of fighting or drunkenness.
And do you know why? It's because they've been given a chance to change. We've also started Sunday services in the prison, and many women have trusted in Jesus as their Savior. Jesus offers them forgiveness and changes their lives. I've seen it myself. One of the women, Caroline, has stopped drinking entirely. Another woman, Rachel, has learned to read and sew. More women can experience that same change if the prison system supports them.
All right. I admit these classes and visits of yours have been helpful. But a good society cannot let crime go unpunished.
I am not advocating that they go unpunished. I simply believe that the punishment should be appropriate for the crime. Women are being transported to Botany Bay for crimes like stealing or being in debt, and that's after they've been left to rot for years as they wait for a trial. There's a woman, Alma, who was imprisoned without a trial for almost 3 years for stealing bacon. Now, she's set to be transported tomorrow and sentenced to remain there for 5 years. Does 8 years of punishment sound fair to you? According to the turnkey, she has always been a good prisoner, but she has still gone through amazing changes since she's been given a chance. In these weeks since her sentence, she's trusted in Jesus as her Savior. She's learned to sew and is learning to read and write. Her life could be so much more if she were only given a fair chance. She'll never get that chance if she's transported. And what about her 2 sons? She believes she'll never see them again. What's their future gonna look like with their mother gone?
I see your point, Mrs. Fry, but there's nothing I can do about her sentence. And besides, all that change won't matter the night before the transport.
What do you mean by that?
You've never seen a night in prison before a transport. All the women, set to be transported or not, go wild. They fight, they drink, they hurt each other. It's mayhem. They may show change for a bit, but they always go back to their old ways.
What if they show you otherwise?
How?
When the women are taken to the ships to be transported, they're taken in open carts. The townspeople throw rotten food and shout insults at them on the way. It's completely undignified. No wonder they go wild. Everyone expects it of them. If the women remain calm and peaceful tonight, will you provide closed carriages for them to ride in so that they can have some privacy? And I will accompany the woman to the ship.
Well, all right. If they prove to me that they can do this, I'd be willing to work with you on giving them a chance.
What did the prison governor say?
I'm sorry, Alma. I couldn't stop the transportation.
Oh, Alma, don't be sorry, Mrs. Fry. I know you fought hard to help me. No one has ever done that for me before.
And I'll keep fighting for you. I couldn't stop your transportation, but I'll keep fighting to end it. But about your transportation tomorrow, I do have some hopeful news.
What could possibly be hopeful now?
The prison governor has promised that if there's no fighting and no drinking tonight, if everyone stays peaceful, then he will have private, closed carriages to take you to the ships, and I'll be able to accompany you.
What's the point? For those of them being transported, their lives are over.
The point is to prove to them that you are capable of change. The governor needs to see it for himself. If they see God's work in you, things will get better in Newgate. Even for those being transported, your lives are not over, I promise. You could be given a chance to come back home, but it starts tonight. Can you all do that?
She has kept her promises before. I say it's worth a try. I'll make sure it stays peaceful. Me too. We all will.
Well, turnkey, what's the report?
Sir, I wouldn't have believed it if I wasn't here myself. It was the calmest night I've ever watched over.
No one fought or got drunk.
No one so much as raised their voice at her fellow prisoner. Listen now. What do you hear?
It's calm. Quiet.
Exactly. They've just been quietly talking amongst themselves, like they were at afternoon tea or something.
Wow. I'm pleasantly surprised. Is Mrs. Fry here?
She arrived early this morning to pray with the transports.
Excellent. Mrs. Fry? It's Mr. Newman.
Good morning, sir.
My turnkey reports that prisoners have fulfilled their end of the agreement. And so shall I. I will go immediately and order closed carriages to bring the prisoners to the ships. Prisoners, Mrs. Fry believes that you can change with God's help. Today you show me it is possible. If you keep listening to what Mrs. Fry has to say, I would be willing to meet with her again and see about other changes that can be made to Newgate.
Thank you, sir. You won't regret it.
I don't think I will. I will be back within an hour with the carriages. Thank you, Mrs. Fry.
Did you hear that? I can hardly believe it. I never thought I'd see the day where we'd get some respect from the prison governor. So now what do?
We keep fighting for change.
It's strange. When the prison governor said he'd be back within the hour to take us away, I wasn't scared. I'm not scared at all. I think I feel hopeful. It doesn't make any sense.
God is giving you strength, Alma. I will pray that you have his strength every day. And will you pray for me?
Yes, but what for?
Pray that God gives me his strength too. I'll keep fighting until transportation is stopped forever and ensure the courts give rightful punishments to crimes. My friends and I will keep sharing the gospel in Newgate so every woman here has a chance.
I will pray, I promise. I thank God for you all. You're the only people who have cared for me. Now I know how much God cares for me too. I know how much he can help me. I'll never forget you.
You'll see me again one day, I'm sure of it. I have a gift for you and all the women being transported today. Well, 2 actually. First is a Bible. You'll never be alone in Botany Bay, Alma. God will be with you always and will help you. Let God speak to you and encourage you through his word. Second, a sewing kit. I know you said the sewing would be useless in the Bay, but I refuse to believe that. Keep learning to sew. This will help you make money to buy your passage back home. Then you can be with your boys again.
I don't know what to say.
Promise me that you'll use these gifts well.
I promise. This won't be the last time you see me. Next time, I'll be free.
I hope that was the last transport. I'm glad they had hope, but is it bad that I'm kind of sad about it?
It's understandable. I bet Elizabeth was still sad to see them leave.
But she totally made transportation illegal soon after that, right?
Not soon. Elizabeth had to be patient once again as God worked.
How patient?
About 25 years patient.
That long? What did they do for 25 years?
They did a lot. It wasn't just the prison governor Elizabeth had to convince. She had to convince many other leaders and government officials. But she kept fighting. Elizabeth started an organization dedicated to sharing the gospel in Newgate Prison and helping the prisoners change their lives. When people started seeing how God was changing their lives, they became open to change. Even Queen Victoria became interested in Elizabeth's work.
Did she get to meet the Queen?
Yes, a few times. Queen Victoria even gave Elizabeth money to help her. Elizabeth helped change the prison conditions so they weren't so terrible. She changed the way criminals were tried and sentenced so their punishment was appropriate for their crime. And finally, in 1854, transportations stopped. Her efforts moved beyond Newgate Prison too. Prisons all over the world heard about her work and made some changes too. Many prisoners who would have had no hope got a second chance. They heard about Jesus and their lives were changed forever. Today, there are lots of church groups who visit prisoners to share the life-changing news of Jesus.
So it really was a good thing that Elizabeth wasn't like anyone else.
Yep. Is that something you've been thinking about?
Yeah, and I'll be thinking about it for a little while longer.
Sounds like a great thing to think about. All right, we made it. Now, where are your parents?
I don't see Mom and Dad's car. We still beat them.
Yes, we win!
Yeah!
Through Elizabeth Fry, God showed that he cares about all people, even those who have committed crimes. The gospel is so powerful that it can change anyone. If you have trusted in Jesus, will you pray for the people in prison? Will you pray that they will trust in Jesus and let God change their lives? Thanks for tuning in to Good News Heroes on U-Nite Radio. Tune in next time to join Piper, Logan, and Uncle Mike for a new Good News Hero story.